Good day. Before the sem end, me and my group mates want to share something to you about heritage tourism. So we hope it can be serve a knowledge or a background knowledge to you. So let's talk about first about heritage tourism. So what is heritage tourism? Heritage tourism, the national trust of the historic preservation. It can defines the heritage tourism as a travel to experience the place, artifacts, and activity that authentically represent the story and people of the past and the present. A high percentage of domestic and international travelers participate in cultural and or heritage. So that is tourism heritage.
There are three types of heritage sites: cultural, natural, and mixed heritage. Cultural heritage sites include hundreds of historic buildings and town sites, important archaeological sites, and works of monumental sculpture or painting. Examples of cultural heritage include tangible assets such as visual art, food, clothing, and style of architecture, along with intangible assets such as legends, music, and values like generosity or respect. Natural heritage sites are restricted to those natural areas that furnish outstanding examples of Earth's record of life or its geologic processes, provide excellence, example of ongoing ecological and biological evolutionary processes, contain natural phenomena that are rare, unique, superlative, or of outstanding beauty, or furnish habitats for rare or endangered animals or plants, or are sites of exceptional biodiversity. Natural heritage is also an important part of society's heritage, encompassing the countryside and natural environment, including flora and fauna, scientifically known as biodiversity, as well as geological elements, including mineralogical, geomorphological, paleontological, and etc., scientifically known as geodiversity. Mixed heritage sites contain elements of both natural and cultural significance. The ratio of cultural to natural sites on the World Heritage List is roughly 3 to 1.
The Philippine Culinary Heritage Movement is a non-profit organization dedicated to the promotions and preservation of Philippine cuisine. Celebrates locally made heirloom Filipino product and Philippine agriculture products through its various projects and advocacies. The goal is not only to maintain products, dishes, or practices because of their value as important components of culture. Food heritage is also appreciated as a possible engine for rural development and growth of tourism.
Festivals in the Philippines offer people a chance to exhibit their rich culture and pay homage to the history and patriotics. They are vibrant, big, and celebrated with a lot of fun and shows. No wonder each province has its own Filipino fiestas that they are very proud of, and the festivals in the Philippines are one of the main reasons travelers visit the country. Because of the colorful costumes, fun activities, and electric fire festival dances in the Philippines. Sinulog festivals in Cebu. Head down south to the Queen City and experience this fiesta in the Philippines that celebrates in Cebu, patron saint Santo Niño. Sinulog is one of the 10 examples of religious festivals in the Philippines. This is a week-long event that is done with the professions, parties, concerts, colorful and lively street dancings, irresistible drum beats, and parades. The word sinulog means like the water, current, and it is actually the name of the steps that the dancer performs. Kadayawan festivals in Davao City. Kadayawan is a native expression in the Davao Nantang. It is derived from the word madayaw, which means good, valuable, and superior. The Baweñas celebrate the annual Kadayawan as a Thanksgiving festival and tribute to its indigenous people. The Philippines festivals is usually held every third week of August. Mascara festivals in Bacolod. Mascara festivals is a very popular festival in the Philippines. Mascara is derived from the word mas, meaning many, and cara, meaning faces. That is called calling the festivals of many faces. Many tourists visit Bacolod in October to witness these grand Filipino cultural festivals. Being known as the City of Smiles, Bacolod parades many smiling masks worn by the locals during these festivals in the Philippines.
The importance of heritage tourism. Cultural heritage tourism or heritage tourism is important for various reasons. It has a positive economic and social impact. It establishes and reinforces identity. It helps preserve the cultural heritage. With culture as an instrument, it facilitates harmony and understanding among people. It supports culture and helps renew tourism. As Benjamin Porter and Noel B. Salazar have ethnographically documented, however, cultural heritage tourism can also create tension and even conflict between the different stakeholders involved. Heritage tourism also promotes community pride by allowing people to work together to enhance economic and cultural development through distinct community opportunities. Studies shows that travelers are more apt to visit places with a strong community identity. In addition to that, heritage tourism also helps the tourist to understand the importance of having a culture, in that each and every human being belongs to a culture, and also shows them the importance of having to follow the culture because that is what determines who we are in the society. It is not simply an outing to a historic site or event. It is best described as tourism that creates and defines opportunities to experience the places, people, activities, and artifacts that authentically represent our past and present. Through heritage tourism, we see, experience, and feel our foundations as we build toward the future.
The Heritage Conservation on Society, or HCS, is an organization which aims to protect and preserve built heritage and historical or cultural sites to uphold that heritage, and culture should be developed and preserved for national identity. HCS utilizes volunteerism and advocacy work to contribute to the preservation. How can we preserve and protect our heritage sites? Here are the ways heritage preservation can contribute to sustainable development. 1. Resisting cultural homogenization. 2. Preserving climate-responsive buildings. 3. Incubating local traditions and values. 4. Strengthening community inclusion and intergenerational equity. 5. Conserving resources and reducing waste.
Philippine tourism and sustainable development of cultural and heritage tourism. So what is sustainable development in the Philippines? It is the practical of considering the impact of tourism in the environment, economy, and society, while at the same time taking into account the needs of the tourists, the host communities, and the industries. So what is the importance of sustainability in tourism in the Philippines? Well, protecting the environment, natural resources, and wildlife, providing socio-economic benefits for communities who live in a tourist destination, conserving cultural heritage when creating authentic tourist experiences, um, bringing tourists and local communities together for mutual benefits. How does the concept of sustainable tourism contribute to culture and heritage? By building a sustainable tourism environment, empowerment of local communities in preserving cultural values and heritage, boosting understanding and collaboration between stakeholders in different sectors.
Promoting heritage tourism. One of the most impact ways that tourism can protect cultural heritage is through community empowerment. This occurs when tourists are educated about the history and tradition of the local community, and in turn that community feels a stronger concession and sense of pride in that cultural history. Additional tourist based around culture assets encourage locals to continue the pass-through traditions and practice that are embedded in their history. The process of teaching our community members about this traditional methods creates a sense of unity through history. The feeling of community allyship is strengthened when tourists visit a place, specifically the experience of culture.
World Heritage Sites are those considered to be of cultural, scientific, or natural importance. Designations began in 1972 by General Conference of UNESCO. UNESCO stands for United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. At present, a total of 1,154 World Heritage Sites across 167 countries. With 58 selected areas, Italy is the country with the most sites on the list. Once designated, UNESCO works with individual nations to protect and preserve those sites. They also offer emergency assistance if those sites are in danger. While in the Philippines, we have the Vegan City, rice terraces of the Philippines Cordilleras, and the Baroque churches of the Philippines.
Contribution of heritage tourism in the Philippines. Heritage sites are meaningful sources of identity and inspirations for communities across the country. With carefully laid out of programs and projects, they could also provide additional financial resources for local government units. Historical and cultural destinations as a part of heritage tourism could play an even bigger role in getting tourists to and around the Philippines. There is even evidence that helping to maintain buildings of characters, cultures, and heritage tourism can also contribute to the innovations and business diversification of precincts.
The National Cultural Heritage Act, officially designated as Republic Act No. 10066, is a Philippine law that created the Philippine Registry of Cultural Property and took other steps to preserve historic buildings that are over 50 years old. It was signed into law on March 25, 2009. The law, principally authored at the Senate by Senator Edgardo J. Angara, provides a comprehensive framework for the preservation of Philippine cultural heritage, including cultural sites, old buildings, monuments, shrines, and landmarks that have cultural significance and historical value. An act providing for the protection and conservation of the national cultural heritage, strengthening the National Commission for Culture and Arts, or NCCA, and its affiliated cultural agencies, and for other purposes. This law aims to protect, preserve, conserve, and promote the nation's cultural heritage, its property and histories, and the ethnicity of local communities. It is also aims to establish and strengthen cultural institutions and protect cultural workers and ensure their professional development and well-being.